All right, well, let me just go ahead and jump right even further in the deep end of the pool. A lot of times when these things happen, I think a lot of us, our kind of gut reaction is, well, let's wait for the facts. We don't know. And we certainly have seen illustrations where, there's been a rush to judgment. But I just feel like, I feel like you have a different reaction when you hear that. Just wait for the facts. You're not saying it's healthy to rush to judgment or let's throw due process out the window, are you? Help us process that.
Yeah, that's a great question, JD. Dr. Tim Muehlhoff, who actually graduated from UNC, he's a professor at Biola University, PhD in communications. He's popularized something called the communication pyramid, which to simplify says there's 5 levels of communication. The most superficial level is cliche, and it's good morning, how are you? We've communicated, but we really haven't communicated. Next 2 levels are where most guys hang out. It's what I call sports center talk. Level 2 is facts, sharing what you know, who won the game, who's the greatest of all time, Michael Jordan, of course. Right. Level 3 is opinion, it's sharing what you think. But levels 4 and level 5 are the deepest levels of communication that really are valuable in helping me to gauge how me and my wife are doing, how our friendships are doing, how we're dealing with issues of reconciliation. Level 4 is emotive, sharing what I feel, and level 5 is transparency. It's sharing who you are. So when these things happen, racial events, you need to know, because again, African Americans are a communal people, we immediately go level 4. We're grieving together. This is how we feel. And for our white brothers and sisters to hang out in lawyer land, level 2 is not a recipe for unity or empathy or oneness. It took me about 5 years of marriage to figure out. When my wife comes to me in level 4 and I hang out in lawyer land, that's never worked well for me.
Explaining why what she's doing is not really a problem.
Right. And so if I want to experience oneness with my wife, I'm not saying there's not a place for facts.
Right.
But facts as a first resort, while it may work in a court, it doesn't work in the theater of human relationships.
Right.
So let me first drop down to level 4 and feel before we resurface later on and get to the facts.
Yeah, you've explained that to me, that whole thing with the Mary and Martha, the tomb of Jesus.
Yeah.
Tell that real quick, because I thought it was really helpful.
Yeah, John 11 is just this, it's a heavy emotional passage. They send word to Jesus, Lazarus is on death's door. Jesus actually decides to do something different. He shows up late. They come to him, level 4. And
Angry.
And they're saying, had you been here? And it's interesting, the shortest verse in the Bible, Jesus' response, John 11:35, it's not him debating or bantering back and forth or correcting their theology. It simply says that Jesus wept.